What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua and Lennox Lewis. Anthony Joshua, after the press conference live in New York, thank you guys that came on to the live stream. They asked him about Lennox Lewis and that situation, and he counterpunched it. He gave his views on what he feels and how he felt. He says, look, I don't talk much. I keep to myself. But if someone keeps barking and poking at me, I'm going to bark and bite back. Lennox Lewis was talking shit, and he feels that Lennox Lewis was ridiculing him. And for the record, he says Lennox Lewis has never reached out to him. He's never reached out to him like people like Vladimir Klitschko does to this day. Klitschko calls him man to man and talks to him, gives him advice, and things that he should do and helpful tips on his career growing up being a junior man, okay? Him being the senior man. He said that Lennox Lewis never reached out to him. He says he went to Jamaica to see Lennox Lewis. And for whatever reason, it didn't appeal to him what Lennox Lewis was saying, so he decided to go another route. But to set the record straight, because I remember Spencer Farron was saying that Lennox Lewis invited him out there, like he flew him in and things like that. Anthony Joshua was like, no, I went to Jamaica for Lewis to see what Lewis was talking about, to see what Lewis had to offer. So that was what a lot of people thinking that Louise tried to entice him, brought him into his family, like I thought, like it was explained by Spencer Farron, right? In that interview, that he brought him out there and tried to bait him into signing and having Lewis promote him, okay? And also, to clear this up, Joshua said, no, he's not a clown because of his boxing, okay? He's a beast boxing. He says he has pictures of Lennox Lewis all over the place in his gym. It's how he decided to handle and say things about social media, clout chasing, right? The word he was looking for, and the way he approached it. And I have to agree, because with Lennox Lewis, if he knowing that he's the senior man, it's a way, and he knows Joshua in his position. The last thing he wants to do is talk shit about him, right? First. And then then keep using the social media as a tool to talk shit or ridicule or criticize this particular fighter, where he could have picked up the phone. He could have reached out. And how Joshua explained it, he never reached out. So if he never reached out, he never did the noble thing, right? By calling the man and saying, hey, man, I think this fight should go like this. But he did to Deontay Wilder, didn't he? He showed him how to do a jab. I bet you he's had many conversations with Deontay Wilder, right? In comparison to his own countryman, Anthony Joshua. That's why Anthony Joshua called him a clown. Okay? So we have to get that straight with these guys. He called him a clown because this guy, again, like Vladimir Klitschko calls and talks to Joshua and advises him like he needs to advise him, okay? Lennox Lewis never done that. So you got to ask yourself, what side is Lennox Lewis on? And let's be real. Lennox Lewis, it doesn't help him being a part of the PBC. It doesn't. It doesn't help that whatsoever. Him being a part of that platform and then him talking that way about Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand what Anthony Joshua meant. He just called him a clown because, hey, the dude keeps talking shit about me and he could reach out to me, and he's never reached out to me. So how Lennox Lewis makes it seem like, oh, my phone's always open for him to receive calls. Well, obviously you never reached out to him. So why should he reach out to you as far as tips or however that goes? But it is a good thing. If he's talking to Vladimir Klitschko, maybe Vladimir Klitschko will be that guy like I would want for him to add to the repertoire of his camp. Okay? So this was a good video. I just needed to counterpunch that. And I agree with Anthony Joshua on this, because Lennox Lewis should have approached that and approach that in a different way. He didn't have to go to social media and tell everyone how he feels about Anthony Joshua. Because if you care that for a fighter, you would go to that fighter first. You wouldn't talk and tell everyone how I feel about this fighter without coming to that fighter first, if that makes sense. That's my counterpunch on it. I will leave the link below in the description to let you guys see the full video. Please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.